Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Dr. CHEIKH narrated and translated by Mercer Cook. And we pick up on a new chapter. Oh, yes. Chapter 7. For the new read, divine days and nights. Wishing all the best and greatest for all of you. Oh man, that gold cloud last night was something special. It really was. Thank you so much for all those that joined. Wow, powerful healing. And we had a great workout as well. So, feeling it. And remember, whenever we are sweating in a working situation or activating situation, that is turning matter into spirit energy. Yes. We want to take notice of that and know that it's a great thing. It's part of our manifestation is and our balancing energy is that it's balancing out, because we want to make sure that as well as we are putting in, that we are balancing by letting go of what we put in as well. And being on top of that is a part of that supreme awareness that we want as the divine beings that we are. So, highest heart love. Yes, chapter 7. Arguments supporting a Negro origin. All right, we're going to begin. Here we go. Page 134 is where we pick up at the 7th chapter. Arguments supporting a Negro origin. Totemism. Totemism. In this book, From the Tribe to Empire, Moray had stressed the essentially totemic character of Egyptian society. His thesis was subsequently opposed, almost as it were feared that grave consequences would inevitably result from it. As a matter of fact, Fraser was categorical on the origin of totemism. He insisted that it is found only in colored populations. There was no way to accept his thesis if one hoped to demonstrate the white origin of an Egyptian civilization. So one tried to deny Egyptian totemism, but while seeking traces of it in so-called white populations, such as the Berber and Tuareg. The zeal with which it was sought in those two groups proves that if the search had been successful, there would no longer have been any doubt about Egyptian totemism. But the attempt failed. Arnold van Gennep, 1873, 1957, could not detect any Berber totemism. The debate finally drifted into philosophical abstraction. Concrete ethnographic data were transformed into cogitation, into a problem of logic, into pure contemplation that no fact could henceforth disturb by implication. Without venturing into philosophy, it was impossible to deny that The taboo character of certain animals and plants in Egypt corresponds to totemism as it exists throughout Black Africa. By contrast, such taboos were alien to the Greeks and other Indo European populations unaware of totemism. Thus, the Greeks scoffed at the excessive veneration of the Egyptian for animals and even for certain plants. After a certain stage of social development, which may be lower than the level of development and mixture that the Egyptian people had attained, endogamy and totemism are not mutually exclusive but coexist. Thus, today in Black Africa, some husbands and wives have the same totemic names: Ndi, Diop, Fall, and so on. Nowadays, it never crosses their minds that such a practice could have been taboo, and yet both husband and wife are clearly aware of being biologically parts of the very essence of that same totem. Both mates are quite conscious of sharing the name animal essence, the same biological essence. They are conscious of belonging originally to the same tribe, so much so that they often remind each other of that fact. Consequently, Van Gennep's notion that Egyptians, who often married their close relations, especially their sisters, could not be totemists, is definitely refuted here. Marriage with one sister stems from another cultural trait equally pervasive in the Black world: matriarchy, which will be discussed shortly. When exogamy was in force, a kind of relationship was finally established between clans that contracted marriage with one another, between two or among three, four, or more clans. The memory of that relationship may explain today, for example, the cow, a hypothetical clan relationship in Wolof society authorizing reciprocal ridicule. Despite studies that attempt to expand the notion of totemism, we can say with Fraser that it is absent from the white populations. Otherwise, it would have been evident in the last white barbarian hordes who overran Europe in the 4th century. Those populations were at the ethnographic, clan, tribe stage when totemism, if present, invests all acts of life and is evident at all levels of social organization. Yet nothing in the life of those hordes reflected the idea of biological relationship between man and beast, either in the individual or in the collective sense. In contrast, it cannot be denied that the pharaoh participated in an animal essence. The falcon, just as we do today in Black Africa. It's so real. It matters. Circumcision. Oh, oh, circumcision. This is very key. Yeah, we'll be hitting the bell with this. Oh, peace. Hi, is heart love. Thank you for being here and reading with us. We're in the 7th chapter, just starting off. And if you're reading along, as well as 4 in the playlist, page 135 down at the bottom is where we are. All right. Circumcision. The Egyptians practiced circumcision as early as prehistoric times. They transmitted this practice to the Semitic world in general, Jews and Arabs, especially to those whom Herodotus called Syrians. To show that the Colchians were Egyptians, Herodotus cited these two indications. My own conjectures were founded, first, on the fact that they are black skinned and have woolly hair, which certainly amounts to but little since several other nations are so too, but further and more especially on the circumstance that the Colchians, the Egyptians, and the Ethiopians are the only nations who have practiced circumcision from the earliest times. The Phoenicians and the Syrians of Palestine themselves confess that they learnt the custom of the Egyptians, and the Syrians who dwell about the rivers Thermo, Thermo, Thermodon and Parthi, Parthenius or Parthenius, as well as their neighbors, the Macronians, say that they have recently adopted it from the Colchians. Now, they are the only nations who use circumcision, and it is a plain that they all initiate and imitate herein the Egyptians. Anticipating the agreement of all logical minds, I call Negro a human being whose skin is black, especially when he has frizzy hair. All who accept this definition will recognize that, according to Herodotus, who saw the Egyptians as plainly as the reader is now seeing this book, circumcision is of Egyptian and Ethiopian origin. And the Egyptians and Ethiopians were none other than Negroes inhabiting different regions. I have to drop a pin here. That's a very sacred custom that's came down to us. Circumcision. That rings the bell, turns on all the lights. So thankful and grateful. That's a dot connected for you, right? Big dot connected right there. Circumcision was a custom of Black Africa, the Ethiopians, as it says, as well as the Colchians and the Egyptians. And they were all Negro. Had to drop a pin there. Thank you so much. Thus, we can understand why the Semites practiced circumcision despite the fact their traditions present no valid justification for it. The weakness of the arguments in Genesis is typical. God asked Abraham and later Moses to be circumcised as a sign of covenant with him, without explaining how circumcision, considered from the standpoint of Jewish tradition, can lead to the notion of an alliance. This is all the more curious because Abraham allegedly circumcised at the age of 90. In Egypt, he had married a Negro woman, Hagar, mother of Ishmael, the biblical ancestor of the second Semitic branch, the Arabs. Ishmael, who was said to be the historical ancestor of Muhammad. Moses, too, wed a Madianite, and it was in connection with his marriage that the Eternal asked him to be circumcised. What should be noted in these legendary tales is the idea that circumcision was introduced among the Semites only as a result of contact with the Black world, which confirms of to the testimony of Herodotus. Only among blacks does circumcision find an interpretation integrated in a general explanation of the universe, in other words, cosmogony, specifically the Dogon cosmogony that Marcel Griol reports in Dia or Dio. He reminds us that to make sense, circumcision must be accompanied by excision. These two operations remove something female from the male and something male from the female. To the archaic mentality, such an operation is intended to fortify the dominant character of a single sex in a given human being. According to Dogon cosmogony, a newborn baby is to a certain extent androgynous, like the first God. We'll pause right here. Woo! That is a major point. The African origin of civilization, myth or reality by Dr. CHEIKH. Edited and translated by Mercer Cook. Thank you so much for reading with us. Wow, that is a major, major read right there, especially that ending part talking about androgynous of like the first gods. You know, shout out to the great Nair Wahi. She said to me one time when we were in conversation talking about this, and I was like, huh, I don't remember reading that. And, you know, it was true. So, highest heart, love, and honor. Love to all our friends and family. Thank you so much. All the book lovers community. Yes. Highest heart, love. Thank you. Live from the light, doing it, right? And thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 700 on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. Now, I'm master fitness trainer, Uriel Riley. So, showing love to our friends is what we do. Read information and give it to the crew for free. Thank you so much for being out there and reading books with us. Honor, glass of love water to all our friends. Happy solar return to Mika. Oh, I love you. We love you so much. One of the great mothers on this planet. Oh, shouts out to Tamika. Thank you so much for all you support all throughout all the years. One of my eldest training clients. She looks amazing, does amazing work as well, helping the youth and wow, the underprivileged youth. She's just impacted thousands, probably at this point, millions of lives. And those are the type of people we honor. Pour a glass of love water, tell you I love you. Thank you. I love you. Oh, oh, that's some great love water. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Fine days and nights. Yeah, it's a great one. So, thinking tonight, let's go. Let's go to the peach cloud. All right. We want to have some soft powering up. We want to do some card readings and counting. Yeah. Much love. Thank you so much. So honorable. Divine days and nights. Let's sing I love you to our friends and family. Show them that this is what we have for the world. Is pure light. Pure light the truth shall set us free. Right? Always. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, they don't have that vocabulary. Thank you so much. Peace, peace. Highest heart, love, and honor. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Love, 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 love you. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Love, 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 love. You, 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 you. You know, 'cause I love myself. Peace, peace. Fine days and nights. We're going to the peach cloud for rest tonight. Peace, peace. I'll see you soon.